Hi there. I hope you're doing amazing. I hope you're feeling okay. And I hope you are ready for this lesson. For today's lesson, we shall be having a review. We are going to review some of the topics that we discussed in Unit 1. So far, we have been learning about a lot of topics, a lot of things from Unit 1. And Unit 1 has been about in the neighborhood, okay? Unit 1 has been about in the neighborhood. Now, let's get into some of the vocabulary, some of that sentence structure that we have looked at so far. 1. We started with greetings, okay? We started with greetings. And we looked at greetings such as hi and hello. Okay, we looked at greetings such as hi and hello. And we said we use these greetings when we've just met someone and we want to strike up a conversation, or we want to see how they're doing. You just say hi there, or hello there, or hi, how are you, or hello, how are you? And then the other individual responds, or if someone is asking you, you respond. So we started with greetings. And from greetings, we went on to names. From greetings, we went on to names. With names, we were introduced to a few characters in the books. For example, Amy, Katie, Max, and Jeff. Okay, we were introduced to a few characters in the book. But the main point of this part of the lesson was the sentence structure. What is your name? Or the question, what is your name? And for this part, we concentrated on what. Okay, what. What is a question? What is a question? And we use this what when we want to know about something. So we used what when we wanted to know about names. Okay, so the question was, what is your name? Question mark. Okay, this is a question, and we kept on emphasizing that with a question it ends with a question mark. Okay, with a question it ends with a question mark, and it starts with a capital letter. Okay, it starts with a capital letter. So we were introduced to the question, what is your name? We also found out how to answer or how to respond to such a question. And we say we respond by saying, my name is Amy is an example. You can say your name, okay? Each and every one of us has a name. So you can fill in here with your name. But in this case, we are using Amy as an example. So you respond by saying, my name is Amy. Or you can also say, I'm Amy. Okay, I'm Amy. Both are correct. Both are correct ways of answering such a question. And then we moved on to identifying family members, or we can also say people. Okay, we moved on to identifying family members or people. And in this part, we were introduced to the question who, okay? Who. And we said we use who when we want to find out who the person is, okay? In relation to people or persons. We use who in relation to people or persons. So, and there we are. We have our question. Who is he? Who is he? This being a question, it ends with a question mark, okay? It ends with a question mark and it starts with a capital letter. When we are starting sentences or questions, we start with capital letters or big letters. Okay, so we were introduced to the question, who is he? Okay, who is he? Who is he? And we said you answer or respond by saying, who is he? Hmm? Who is he? He is my dad, okay? He is my dad. Dad is one example of our family member, okay? Dad is one example of our family member. Who is he? The second picture. We are talking about the second picture. Who is he? Who is he? Well, you can say he is my granddad, okay? He is my granddad. You can see granddad is also another family member, or it's a vocabulary for family members. We were introduced to dad, granddad, but there are other family members. For example, brother, baby brother, cousin brother, uncle, okay? All those are family members. And he, the pronoun he is used for dad, granddad, brother, and uncle, the males in the family, okay? For the males or boys in the family. And then we also have who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Okay? Who is she? Can you guess? Who is she? Well, you can respond by saying, she is my mom. Okay? She is my mom. She is my mom. So when someone asks you, who is she? You respond by saying, she is my mom. Who is she? Can you guess? Who is she? Who is this family member? Who is this family member? Who is she? Well, you can say, she is my grandma, okay? She is my grandma. When someone asks you, who is she? You respond by saying, she is my grandma. So we have female members of the family. We have mom, we have grandma, we have sister, we can have baby sister, we can have cousin sister, and we can also have aunt, okay? We can also have aunt. Those are the female members of a family or in our family. And next, we moved on to times of day, okay? We moved on to the topic times of day. In this topic, we got to know the different times we experience in a day. For example, image 1 is good morning, okay? Good morning. When the sunshine is just coming up the horizon or in the sky, first thing in the morning, we say good morning. Good morning is also a form of greeting. Apart from hi and hello, we can also use or say good morning. And then as the day goes on, we have other different times of day. For example, this. What's this time of day? Well, if you guessed good evening, you did a good job. Well, this is good evening. Good evening. We can also use good evening as a greeting, okay? We can also use good evening as a greeting. And lastly, we have, can someone guess? Can you guess? Well, if you guessed good night, you did a good job. You did a good job. Yes. And lastly, the last time of day before we retire to bed or before we go to bed is good night. Okay? Good night. So we have good morning, we have good evening, and we have good night. Good night. Good morning, good evening, good night. Then we moved on to identifying objects, but in this case, singular objects. Identifying objects, singular objects. And in this topic or this lesson, we were introduced to the question, what is it? Okay, what is it? This being a question, it ends with a question mark. Okay, this being a question, it ends with a question mark, and each and every sentence starts with a capital letter. So in this lesson, the question what is it helped us identify objects, but in this case singular objects. For example, what is it? What is it? Well, you answer that question by saying it's a flower. Okay, it's a flower. It's a flower. It is a flower. What is it? What is it? Can you guess? What is it? Can you guess? What is it? Well, it's a cat. It's a cat. It's a cat. It is a cat. Okay? It is a cat. It is a flower. It is a cat. Yes, so this is how we identify objects, singular objects. And that's been for our review lesson. So, dear students, please take your time, try to sit down and read through the reading chest. Try practicing, okay? Try watching the previous videos. Try identifying the different vocabularies. Try practicing, because very soon we are gonna have a test. We are gonna have a test, an English test. So please try to revise, try so hard to practice, and that's it. Thank you for being a good audience. Thank you for listening. Have a great day and goodbye.